How would you react if I told you from LKG to 10th we studied together for 12 years, but most of us haven't even talked to each other? My classroom was such a suffocating place. Let me tell you how. The number one reason, the cheap mindset. If a boy and girl talk, everyone would start giving them stares like either can you be dating or don't talk at all. It was like an unsaid rule that if you can't have a normal conversation with the opposite gender, there were only two types of exception. People who were too bold, they would talk no matter what, but everyone would stare and have really bad talk about them a lot. And the other was ones who would talk to each other but on the Instagram, and in class they wouldn't even look at each other. There was a thing going on in boys that you may talk to girls online but not offline, because if you're talking they'll bully you brutally. And there was only one guy who would talk to few girls by shouting, "She's my sister!" And he would do this every time they talked. And he was such a character. I would talk about him in another video. Talking about girls, then they also had this thinking of not talking to boys, don't know why. And the girl who did talk, ignoring all bullshit because it's actually so normal, but not in my class, they would be slut shamed. And if you can guess, that girl was me. It was so toxic, I had serious mental breakdowns because of my idea was quite different from the conservative surrounding. The second reason, lack of unity. How could there be any unity when there is such a stereotype and people wouldn't talk to each other? Nobody supported anything of each other. They just blame and sometimes keep quiet because they don't want to be in mess. This lack of participation made things worse. Gradually, our class started dividing into groups, which brings us to third reason, micro and macro groups in classroom. Every student in the classroom divided into group, except for one topper and one naive, and it didn't really matter for them because they just focus on themselves. This group system was so exhausting because now they just hang out in their group and wouldn't interact with each other. In this situation, you have to be in a certain group, even if you don't like, or else you'd just be left alone and nobody cares. The fourth reason, no healthy environment for studies. There were groups but no group studies. Even in a group, they'd be just jealous of each other. So they would study hard at home but pretend in a school like they haven't studied anything. If the bell rang and you are reading anything, they'd just tease you. The fifth reason, being bold as a girl is a curse. You can't challenge the stereotypical idea already existing. You can't stand against boys and question. You can't do normal things as boys. You can't do things like just asking questions which boys said. You can't question them like anything. You just have to be submissive, naive and quiet. Because if you dare to speak up, you dare to do things no one has done before, you'd be talk of the conversation all the time. They would talk shit about you constantly that you'd lose your confidence, your ability to fight against and become quiet. Because everyone you thought was your friend tells you you shouldn't do this, and being in that negative environment changes you to be quiet and just quiet. So yeah, that was my class. Now let me tell you how I wanted my class to be. Honestly, I just wanted it to be so simple, not these all type of stereotypes and conservative mindset. I wanted everyone to be supportive of each other, help each other, and just be friends with each other, participate in projects together, plan harmless pranks for the teachers, have fun together, make different memories, and look at each other as classmates. No girls, no boys, no bullshit. I wanted class 10th to be my best year in school. Full memories, fun, but that wasn't the case. Thank you so much for listening my thoughts. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.